because of how long she's been out for due to injuries, and then pulling for this in this fight. That's the decision that I would have made too, because I think what the statement that needs to be made here is you've got to be professional about making weight, and that goes before the weight cut starts. So if you're showing up so heavy that you're having medical issues by the time you're cutting weight and you have to be hospitalized, I feel like you didn't do something right during your training camp.
Right.
Now, I also know that Nicco, when she was on the Ultimate Fighter, I was a guest coach there on her team. Like, she wasn't a large 125er. It's not like she was cutting a massive amount of weight. She had no trouble making weight on the show, which happens week by week. And she won the show, so she was fighting often. It's not like she stopped in the first fight. She had to fight almost every week, and she was fine. She had no problems making weight. So that also adds another really interesting element to me.
In terms of like the motivation as to why this may have happened or lack thereof, or
exactly, like what's really going on here, like what you had ample amount of time to prepare, and you did it on the Ultimate Fighter, and you were the underdog in probably every fight that she had there, and she did. So what's going on here? Like, is there an intimidation factor? That's what I'm really questioning at this point. I would love to see Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. They fought each other in kickboxing before. They have quite a rivalry. And we've come to the understanding that it's about the fights that are going to put things on the map. And that fight puts eyes on the 125-pound division. It's not exactly what the girls already at 125 want to see happen, because it obviously eliminates at least one spot from the girls that have already established themselves at 125. But Joanna Jedrzejczyk used to fight at 125. She was kind of forced to go down to 115. I think she's a totally viable contender, since she used to be the 115-pound champion. And bottom line is, puts eyes on 125-pound division. It establishes the division, and there will be openings in the future for the rest of the girls at 125
of course,
to fight a champion that's more notable for having fought another notable person. It helps.
Kick it off in a high gear.
Yes. Yeah. Kick it off in high gear. Let the girls come in after that, and we're going to have a more established division. We're going to have a more well-known champion, and I think these two ladies kicking it off is the best that the division could ask for. Why do you think that she waited until the weight cut? I mean, why not the week of the fight? Why not during the camp? Like, why during the weight cut? And if you don't buy her excuse that the weight cut was too hard on her and she needed to be hospitalized, if you say that is false, what is your message to her?
Why weight cut? Why the last minute? Because all this media stuff, it was working good for her, and she was like using the time. Everybody started to speak about her. Everybody started to remember her, and the week. The day of the cut weight, it was like the most reasonable reason, health. Because like everybody, when it says like, oh, she made bad cut, she couldn't make a weight, it's like you can hear it's very reasonable. It sounds very like, okay, what you can do, it's a problem with health. But from the other point, if you are doubting that it will be difficult for you to cut weight in the last day, you will start your diet like before, maybe 1 month, 2 months before, and make it easier for someone who make weight like 3 times on a reality show and then on the final without any issues, without any problem. I think she know how to cut weight. I think she know exactly how it works. But from other side, if you are not doing everything like you have to do to make it everything right and work good, there is only one reason, that you are don't want to make it happen anymore. This is for me only one reasonable answer why she did it. So I can explain only like this. I'm so good about fight her, and I think it will be some fight very everyone want to see, and people were saying, talking about this for a long time already. And like I said, every time we already have with Joanna our history in Muay Thai. We fought a few times with her, and now we can start our history in MMA under UFC rules. So why not?
Do you guys have a huge rivalry? You guys don't get along? Like, how do you think that plays out in a potential fight between the two of you?
I respect Joanna like a fighter because she showed that she's a very good fighter, and she was holding the belt for a long time. So I know that she will give everything from her in this fight, same as me. So it will be a good fight. I think everybody wants to see it.
Obviously, she's the champion because she went through the Ultimate Fighter house and came out the other end as champion. She won a bunch of fights in a row. But there's still people questioning her legitimacy. The old saying of you're not an actual champion until you defend the belt. So I'll ask you that question. Does Nicco need to defend this belt before she's considered a champion?
You know, I don't think so. I think she's not very well known because she came up through the Ultimate Fighter and because this is a new division, and she was on a small card that not many people watched when she was crowned the champion. So she's relatively unknown. So I think that this fight will definitely put her on the map as far as growing a fan base and people really recognizing her as a champion. But I still believe that, like, if you're to go through the Ultimate Fighter and to fight that many people in a row and to fight some of the veterans, some of the best people, you know, Roxanne Modafferi is that I know she doesn't always look like she's that good, but she's good. I mean, I've grappled with her before, and she's a veteran. She's got a lot of tricky things. She fought a lot of the best girls at 125 already in that house, and she was an underdog and all of that. She was sort of the dark horse. She came out of nowhere, didn't have a great, impressive record, but I was so impressed with her. I was actually involved in that season, so I got to see her training. I got to see, like, how good she actually is. Just she's incredibly talented. And I think that I think that anytime that you capture a championship, like you're a champ. You know, she'll always go down in history as the first 125-pound champion. So it's not something that you can just overlook and say, oh, she was never a champion. I mean, it's kind of one of those mixed feelings. To me, I consider her a champion. You know, I always look at her as a champ, but to legitimize that and like really make it, like, put her on the map and get her notoriety out there, then I think, I think especially beating someone like Valentina Shevchenko, who's so well known and such a beast. You know, that will definitely solidify any doubt. So I think it's important that she wins this fight, but at the same time, I don't discredit her as a champion as of right now.